We are told from a young age that having many friends is a sign of a successful life. We collect acquaintances like trophies, filling our digital and physical spaces with people who know our names but do not know our souls. But there is a silent danger in a crowded room. Ancient wisdom teaches us that the quality of your life is determined by the quality of the three people closest to you. If those people are anchors, you will never sail; if they are shadows, you will never find the light. The most difficult lesson a human being must learn is not how to love everyone, but how to choose who deserves to be loved by you. Your inner circle is the garden of your mind, and if you allow weeds to grow there, they will eventually choke the flowers of your ambition and peace. This is the wisdom of the inner circle, the art of strategic isolation in a world that demands constant connection. How do you identify a wolf in sheep's clothing before the teeth are at your throat? The ancients used a method called the trial of time and pressure. They watched how a person reacted not to your success, but to your moments of absolute vulnerability. A true ally is not the one who cheers when you are on the mountaintop, but the one who stays in the valley when the storm is at its peak. Many of us are surrounded by fair-weather ghosts, people who vanish the moment the first drop of rain falls. By holding on to these people out of a sense of loyalty or fear of loneliness, we occupy the space that a true brother or sister should fill. To grow, you must first clear the room. You must have the courage to audit your life, to look at the people around you and ask, does this person inspire me to be better, or do they merely comfort me in my stagnation? It is a brutal process, but it is the only path to true sovereignty. The tragedy of the modern soul is the fear of an empty seat at the table. We endure the presence of critics, manipulators, and energy vampires simply because we have been conditioned to believe that quantity equals belonging. But ancient kings and philosophers knew a secret that we have forgotten: an empty chair is far better than a chair occupied by a traitor. There is a specific type of poison that only a close friend can administer, a slow-acting toxin of subtle discouragement and masked jealousy. When you share your dreams with someone in your inner circle and they respond with, "Be realistic," or "Be careful," they are often not protecting you, they are protecting their own comfort. Your growth serves as a mirror to their stagnation, and many would rather see you fail than be forced to look at their own unfulfilled potential. To master the art of living, you must learn to recognize the difference between a supportive hand and a tether that keeps you anchored to the ground. You must become the gatekeeper of your own energy, realizing that access to your presence is a privilege, not a right that anyone can claim. Consider the architecture of the great cathedrals. They are built upon foundations that can support immense weight, yet they only allow a certain amount of light through specific windows. Your life should be designed with the same precision. You must categorize the people in your life into three distinct rings. The outermost ring is for the world, the acquaintances and the strangers who see only the facade. The middle ring is for the allies, those who work with you, share common goals, and offer mutual respect. But the innermost ring, the sacred three, is reserved for those who have earned the right to see your true self. These are the people who will tell you the truth when it hurts, who will hold your shield when you are too tired to stand, and who celebrate your victories as if they were their own. If you have even one person like this, you are wealthier than any billionaire. If you have three, you are invincible. The danger arises when we allow someone from the outer ring to occupy a space in the center. This misalignment is the root of almost every personal catastrophe in human history. A spy is only dangerous because they are close enough to hear the secrets. A knife only cuts the deepest when it is held by someone you never expected to strike. There is a profound silence that follows the act of pruning your social circle. It can be terrifying. You may look around and find yourself standing alone for the first time in years. But do not mistake this silence for defeat. It is the silence of a clean slate. It is the quiet before the arrival of the people who actually belong in your story. Many people spend their entire lives living in a house full of ghosts, people from their past, people they no longer like, and people who actively wish them ill, simply because they are afraid of the labor of moving out. True wisdom is the realization that your time is the only currency that cannot be devalued or replaced. When you give your time to a person who drains you, you are essentially committing a slow form of suicide. You are killing the versions of yourself that could have existed if you were surrounded by greatness. You must be willing to walk through the fire of loneliness to reach the garden of true connection. The path to the top is narrow for a reason. Not everyone is meant to make the climb with you. In the end, the legacy of a person is written in the hearts of those they kept closest. Look at the figures who changed history, the great thinkers, the undefeated warriors, the visionary leaders. They were never lone wolves in the literal sense. They were men and women who curated their surroundings with ruthless intentionality. They understood that you become the average of the people you spend the most time with. If you surround yourself with 5 cowards, you will eventually become the 6th. If you surround yourself with 5 masters of their craft, your own mastery is inevitable. This is not about being elitist or cold-hearted, it is about the sacred duty you have to your own potential. You were not put on this earth to be a garbage can for other people's insecurities. You were put here to build something, to leave a mark, and to evolve. That evolution requires an environment that fuels you, not one that consumes you. It is time to stop apologizing for your standards. It is time to stop making excuses for people who have proven, time and time again, that they do not have your best interests at heart. Close your eyes and imagine your life 10 years from now. If you are still surrounded by the same toxic voices, the same gossips, and the same doubters, where will you be? You will be in the same place you are today, but with 10 years of regret added to the weight on your shoulders. The door to your inner circle has a lock for a reason, and you are the only one who holds the key. Starting today, be more selective. Be more observant. Watch the eyes of those around you when you share a victory. Watch their hands when you fall. Trust the patterns, not the apologies. The people who truly belong in your life will never make you feel like you are too much or too difficult for wanting to be great. They will be the wind in your sails, the iron in your blood, and the peace in your soul. This is the ultimate lesson of wisdom. Your circle can either be a cage or a kingdom. The choice of who gets to enter is the most important decision you will ever make. Choose wisely, stand tall, and never settle for a seat at a table where you are not truly seen. This is the end of the lesson, but the beginning of your new, sovereign life.